All right. Hey, this is Jeremy, and this is your Thursday 5 for 5 devotion. So I was talking to a non-Christian a few weeks ago about the Bible. And they were saying, hey, I just don't see how a book that was written thousands of years ago can apply to my life today. Now, while I understand where they're coming from, I totally disagree with them. Because when I read the Bible, the same truth that is in the Bible is the same truth today. God has not changed. In fact, the same things that humans struggle with back in the day, it's really the same things that we struggle with today. The circumstances have changed and the context has changed, but human nature, it really hasn't changed. I was talking to a Kid Life volunteer this past Sunday about how cool it would be if they made more movies that took Bible stories and put them in modern context. Not to change the real Bible story, but to put it in an example that we would understand, like in a movie or a book. Because the truth is, we really do struggle with a lot of the same things. Now, you may think, well, I've never struggled with idolatry, right? But idolatry, while it's something in the Old Testament and New Testament that mainly points out worshiping idols, having other gods beside our God, the one true God, idolatry really has a broader definition. In fact, Paul talks about it in Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. He says, therefore, put to death those things which belong to the worldly nature. And then he lists immorality, impurity, lust, evil desires. And then he says greed, which is also idolatry. Wow. I would have never thought that greed would be idolatry. Well, I opened up the Bible Knowledge Commentary, and on the commentary on Colossians, it's written by Norm Geisler, and he writes that idolatry is seeking satisfaction in things below, not in things above. So anything that's worldly that we seek satisfaction in. So if you're greedy for more and more things in this world, or you want what somebody else has, that's idolatry. So that is a sin that we struggle with, because there are a lot of things that I seek satisfaction in here on earth. One of those is wealth. One of those is comfort. I don't want to be uncomfortable. One of those could even be things like college football. I saw somebody send out a tweet this past week that said college football is idolatry. While I may not agree with that totally, I can understand it, because a lot of times we seek satisfaction in that. And if the results don't go the way that we want, we're unhappy. It changes our attitude. It makes us mad at other people. It makes us do things that don't line up with the fruits of the Spirit. So when you think about idolatry that way, wow. There are a lot of things that we put before God or even next to God. And that goes against Exodus chapter 20, verse 3, the first commandment. God told Moses, you shall have no other gods before me besides me. We should only have one thing, one being that we put our satisfaction in, and that is God. Now, God allows us to find satisfaction in other things, but we don't put those things before God. He's number one. So if there's anything in your life right now that you seek satisfaction in, like I got to have this kind of house, I got to have this kind of car, I got to have this kind of job. If all of that starts to crumble and if you think, oh no, my life is over, my life is terrible, you've made that thing an idol, whether you meant to or not. So hey, my goal for this devotion is to say, examine your life. See what things you are trusting in for satisfaction. Is it things below or is it things above? And if it's not, hey, maybe put that thing out of your life for a little bit and focus on God. He is the source of our true satisfaction. I hope you have a great day. See ya.